Lucid Motors has a habit of not revealing its plans up until it has something solid to show for it. The battery technology of the EV maker is no different. Lucid Motors has the best-in-class EV battery that produces the most range we have ever seen in an EV. What goes on behind all those developments made in Lucid's battery department, and why does Lucid remain so secretive about its battery tech? Welcome to another video from NewVehicleMedia. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so that you will not miss our videos. Like this video and comment your thoughts down below. We might feature your comment in the next video. One main key feature of Lucid's vehicles is the industry-breaking long range. This technology is developed after years of research. Today we'll be going over these achievements and comparing various battery technologies. As always, this video is divided into chapters that can be found in the description. Battery knowledge. Lucid Motors has had such a strong footing in the battery technology sector due to its focus from the very start. Back in the late 2000s, Lucid was known by its former name, Atieva. Atieva was meant to be an EV maker, but had a very interesting thing going on. It did not focus itself on making a prototype EV like any new EV maker would do. Rather, the company worked on developing its battery technology, motors, and control systems. That has now resulted in an unbelievable battery with an amazing range for the Lucid Air Dream. Another good decision the company took was when it hired Peter Rawlinson as its chief technical officer and later put him at the post of CEO. Peter Rawlinson can be credited for a major portion of the success Lucid has achieved yet without even releasing a single vehicle into the market. Rawlinson has bright credentials as he was one of the main people who made the Tesla Model S. There is Peter Rawlinson's name on many of the patents related to the Tesla Model S. It seems like the best thing to do is hire the man behind the Model S when the goal of the company is to debut with the sedan. There's no doubting the fact that many of the technical developments for the Lucid Air were done by Peter Rawlinson, but he has made some other good decisions as well. Tesla has made most of its patent public and free for others to use in goodwill. However, when asked about it, Peter Rawlinson made sure that no Tesla patents have been brought into use to make the Lucid Air. Rawlinson was not sure as to how long the goodwill from Tesla would last. When we look at the decision, it was the right one. It would never be worth the risk to base a debut sedan off patents of another company. Firstly, it would dilute the impact of the debut vehicle. Secondly, any sour relations in the future with the parent company of the patents would have disastrous consequences. Atieva achievements. When we think about the battery technology that Lucid Motors possesses, we mostly think about one thing. It has the EPA-verified range of 517 miles on the Lucid Air Dream. It is, without a doubt, no less of an achievement than any for the company, but it has to be kept in mind that it is not the first and biggest achievement of the company. We cannot forget the Formula E success of the company. The battery technology research and development branch of Lucid Motors still names Atieva. It created the battery pack for Formula E race cars that lasted throughout the whole race without even messing up the performance of the race cars. It was done by Atieva for the 2019-2020 event season. Before this, the batteries used in the Formula E race cars would only allow them to run half of the race, and then these were supposed to be replaced. Lucid Motors did the impossible and created a much more capable battery. Performance capabilities of Lucid Motors, or Atieva to be exact, were showcased to the world much before that event. It was back in the year 2016 when Atieva turned a Mercedes-Benz van into an electric version. It was named Edna and was put up in a race against the Tesla Model S and a Ferrari. Surprisingly enough, Edna beat the two of them very easily in a race. It was a very flamboyant display of Lucid's capabilities at the time, as the huge van was very unlikely to beat one of the fastest electric vehicles of the time, as well as an internal combustion engine monster supercar. This was done all thanks to the battery technology, motors, and control systems developed secretly by Atieva instead of working on an EV prototype. Comparison. When compared to other EV makers, The battery technology and the overall approach of Lucid Motors are quite different. Lucid Motors has concluded that it is the recharging process that is most detrimental to the battery of the EV rather than the drive. A lot of heat is produced, which is proof of it. For this purpose, Lucid has introduced its 924 volts infrastructure for battery charging. Other EV makers, such as Tesla, do battery charging at 400 volts. By taking up the volts, Lucid Motors uses a less amount of current compared to Tesla. The higher amount of current and low voltage used by Tesla results in almost 5 times more heat in the cables. This in turn is very detrimental for the battery and the charging infrastructure as a whole. The approach taken about the future of battery technology by Lucid Motors is also quite different compared to other car makers. Many EV makers, and Tesla to be exact, feel that the success in battery technology is in producing a battery that is cheaper to produce. This can be seen in the recent 4680 battery cell development by Tesla and how it focused on cost reduction. Tesla believes that it will eventually lead to the $25,000 EV. Lucid, on the other hand, has a very different approach for the future of its batteries and the cheap EV. Peter Rawlinson has stated that it is better to make an efficient battery rather than reducing the costs. A more efficient battery will automatically lead to reduced costs of the vehicle, as a lesser battery will be required in the end. If we think about it, having a small but capable battery would cost less than a cheaper battery that would still be huge and require a lot of material to manufacture. The conclusion: it makes a lot of sense why Lucid has been so secretive about its battery technology. Quite a few months have passed since Lucid Motors unveiled the Lucid Air Dream and its battery with an unbelievable range of 517 EPA verified miles. No other EV maker has been able to top that, even as the months have passed by. This fact is in itself a huge sign of Lucid Motors' successful battery technology. Even before the Air Dream battery, Lucid Motors was known for its battery technology in the form of the Formula E battery developed by Atieva. It allowed the race cars to do something that was thought to be impossible, as previously, the race cars could only be able to go on for half of the race on a single fully charged battery. Peter Rawlinson has handled the steps of this research and development very well. It was very wise of him not to use any Tesla patents, as it would have risked the authenticity of the Lucid Air and might have become a serious issue in the future as well. Lucid Motors has not only made the battery itself very efficient, but also refined the processes that revolved around it as well. The battery charging infrastructure used by other EV makers is 400 volts or a little above that. On the other hand, Lucid Motors uses an infrastructure of 924 volts. It requires a very low current and hence produces very little heat. Less heat produced results in lesser deterioration of the battery eventually. It is quite fascinating to think that an EV maker is so capable at the point of debuting its EV. This makes the future of the company very promising. A.E. Kerr responded that Lucid is hitting all the technology cues. What are your thoughts on battery technology and how it's kept secret? When will Lucid go a step further and make the batteries better? Let us know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up. It'll help us to understand our audience and allows YouTube to suggest similar videos to you. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.